Are we alive, guys? Say cheers. It was not only for last night, it was for today as well. Say cheers. Great, wonderful. Okay. So I have my fellow colleagues with me here on the stage. While it was an insightful session that was just before us about D2C. Let's talk more about marketplaces. There were concerns about cameras. We are all open for cameras. Please click photographs. Thank you. So, okay, coming back. Dvish, if you can take that seat, please. Sorry. Okay, so I think we want to keep it interactive. And while I say interactive, it means that all of you are free to ask questions, right? So my name is Amit, by the way, if you don't know. So my name is Amit, and I take care of Fossil Group marketplace, the entire sales and digital business for APAC, Northern America, and Europe. And I have these wonderful people out here with me on stage. We have Manu from Hero Electric, we have Nikita from Suta, we have Ankit from Hamleys, and we have Divesh from Blinkit. So we'll continue with the session. I think all of you are open to ask questions at any time. Please do raise hands. So people, if you can just keep one, okay? Great, wonderful. So, okay, so I think we've talked a lot about D2C, and we've talked a lot about the top of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, and then all other things. I think it's time to look at the strategies, how we are actually looking at marketplaces, right? How we are actually catering to marketplaces' demands, and what are we doing for that, right? And there's none other than Hero Electric with a high ticket size with whom I would like to start. So with Mr. Manu, if you'd help us understand how are you managing the deliveries and the commission structure of these marketplaces, please?
Thanks. Automobiles traditionally have been an offline player. That is, we are offline first. We have dealerships from where automobiles traditionally sell, and it's been there for donkey years. It changed a bit during COVID. Companies started, because the stores were shut, so companies started looking at online as a, another channel to work upon. And from then onwards, I think what we've realized that during COVID, obviously the stores were shut, most of the sales were happening online. The deal was that you book online and you take the deliveries when the stores open. Obviously, at that time, the percentage of online sales was phenomenal. It went down once the stores opened, things became normal because automobile as a category traditionally has been a touch and feel, experiential kind of a category. You want to go take a test drive and then probably, take a decision, visit 3-4 showrooms, competitive showrooms, etc. While having said that, everyone realized that, online can give you great leads. There is huge search capabilities online, and people actually, especially for a new category like electric, people wanted to search online first, look at the product, understand the nuances of the product, look at reviews, etc., of people who bought or other influencers, etc., or tech, auto journalists writing about the products, etc. So, online has been incorporated into the marketing activities for most automobile companies, not only for just brand building, but also for, generating leads, etc., doing hybrid sales, online bookings, etc., and taking deliveries from the dealership. Now, when it comes to marketplaces, there are certain challenges for categories like us. Though we have been selling online even prior to, COVID. So Paytm Mall was one of the first ones where automobiles was a very big category, especially during festive season. Automobiles are also very seasonal purchases to a large extent. Festivals, special occasions is when people like to, buy automobiles. So on Paytm Mall, I'll start from there, though it's not there anymore. That was the place where, we used to do a lot of sales and full volume sales. You pay upfront there, take the deliveries from the dealer. The benefit there was that Paytm Mall used to offer a lot of, special offers attached with the purchase, 10,000 rupees, etc. So what it did for us was that we were not discounting the product, because that is something which we don't want to do, saying that, I'll sell at a special price online and at a dealership the price would be different. So the dealers don't like that. Ours is a very small category right now, so we don't want to offend the dealer by, saying that, you can go online, get a special price. So dealers don't like this. We don't want that to happen. And that was helping us there. With some of the current marketplaces, though most of the brands are now present on those places, I do believe that the sales are not very high there for a simple reason that probably both the brands as well as the marketplaces have not been able to crack to a larger extent that how the whole fulfillment, etc., is going to take place. Uh, the second issue which comes is the commission, because my dealer also gets a commission on all the sales which happens. So if I actually sell online or even do bookings online, I do need to pay a commission to the marketplace as well. So that challenge is, sometimes what we need to do is that either reduce the dealer commission on that particular sale and pass on some commission to the marketplace, etc. But that kind of a model has really not worked very well. Another reason here is that, not all categories are suited. So when you're going to Amazon or a Flipkart, you are not going to looking for a motorbike or a scooter to buy, So that becomes an issue. But there are certain marketplaces which are more, attuned, like for a car and bike, for example, they also have a marketplace now. So those those channels give me a better, return on investment. Because, when someone visits those kind of places, they have that, intention to go and look at, motorcycles or scooters, and that is where, you get a better return. So there are channels which are working well. There are channels which are not working well, but what happens with a large marketplace is that you get that visibility. Apart from visibility, you also get, newer set of cohort. There are towns where we are not present at all through our dealerships, etc. So we do get inquiries or we start getting bookings from those places. Though the numbers are very small right now, I do believe that, once the marketplaces are also, they understand the nuance of automobile buying and, a full fulfillment kind of a thing can happen right at the marketplace. I think this is a category which will grow because I know for sure that all these marketplaces are trying very hard to, set up separate verticals which are for automobiles, etc. as well, because they feel that this is a growing market and this will have an impact over a period of time. But brands like us obviously are looking at, discoverability. We are looking at new cohorts. We are looking at a very large set of people coming to that store and looking at our product. So yes, it may not be, to a full sense that you are a D2C brand or you want to start selling at a newer channel. But yes, there are some advantages which you are getting also.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Mr. Manu. I think there are a lot of high-end bikes across the globe that gets delivered through online channels, right? So I think we are on the right trajectory with these marketplaces taking up next steps in gearing up for deliveries and then ensuring that the commission structure is not disturbed with the dealer as well, right? That's when we'll be able to win here, I think, Mr. Manu. Thanks a lot for your insights. I think next, I think my question would be a little bit about content and creative, right? So I think it's best that I should ask Nikita to help us understand how, because a lot of brands actually fear in going live on marketplaces, right? Because they have their D2C presence, like they are big on D2C, right? So when it comes to D2C versus marketplace, how you are ensuring that the brand presence is not diluted, that's one, right? Plus the discounting pattern. Also on the creative and content part as well, because marketplaces carry a lot of content and creative when it comes to premium A+, PDPs and all that stuff, while we can do a lot on D2C, but still there are opportunities on marketplace. So over to you.
Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone is awake and willing to listen. So, yeah. So, we're talking about Suta. Essentially, we started our business on our brand.com, right? And that is how the business was for the first couple of years, like at least the first 4-5 years. We were focusing on our own channels, and there came a point where we started talking about broad-basing our channels, and that is where we started questioning, our marketplaces even meant for us. because we were not a discounting brand. We were not like, and being on marketplaces meant like, you'll have to have some kind of discounting strategy. On our own website, we hardly ran any discounts. And that was something which was a very big question in our head. So essentially, initially, I mean, it's not that we didn't make mistakes. Like we initially used to, like have like hiked up prices, and like we would slash it down. And but we realized that that doesn't work. It was kind of brand diluting in nature. So I mean, then we went back. We kind of corrected our prices, at least for the ones which we had common SKUs. So the one strategy which we essentially maintained was keeping a significant portion of our catalog on marketplaces different. So what we sell on our own website versus what is available on marketplaces, we try and curate differently. So, so I mean, obviously there are some bestsellers which we sell across both the platforms, but like obviously we maintain price parity on those. And one way to differentiate between your marketplaces and online channel would be to ensure like we don't try to run campaigns when there are major sales happening on marketplaces. So then what happens is like, I mean, anyways, people try to gravitate towards marketplaces more. So we align our calendars in a way wherein like, our website sales or campaigns are planned differently. And also on marketplaces, right? Since we are not somebody who our positioning is different, right? So I mean, it's not that we are encouraging discounts all the time. So we keep our discounts limited. We keep our of like say the maximum we would go to maybe 20% or something like that. It's only when we are trying to liquidate something, like probably we will delist that product from our own website, and then like probably like see what makes sense and which marketplace that product fits on. So that is something which we kind of do. Then apart from that, like differentiating between the offering itself, like what we sell on our own website versus marketplaces. We take a lot of inputs from the marketplaces themselves, like what are the trends which they are seeing or what they forecast. We see insights from what has been selling well on marketplaces, and we give these insights to our design teams to curate future collections, like what are the colors which sell, which are the kind of patterns which sell, like whether a color block is selling or whether a print is or a floral print is selling. So these are the kind of inputs we kind of put into designing products for marketplaces. And essentially like, and people are value conscious, and like some marketplaces, like people are discount seekers. So you can't have like premium products on those marketplaces because above a certain price point, they will not sell, they will not move. So I mean, for example, like what we sell on Amala Earth will be very different from what we sell on Myntra, or maybe like, and we don't sell on Flipkart because we know that it's not a place where a product like us will move. And ultimately, like you have to ensure that your cost of doing business and the net revenue which you're earning out of any marketplace is making sense. Right. So hence, keeping an eye on your cost of doing business from each marketplace is important. And these are some insights which we kind of leverage when we are differentiating between our online and our own D2C versus our marketplace. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Nikita. I think these are great insight, guys. While we talk about marketplace, I think I'm open for questions as well for a couple of minutes. So we all represent, I think many of us represent brands, right? We not only work on marketplace side of it, we work on outright side of it as well, because a lot of brands have that foreign direct investment as well, where we are not allowed to do multi-brand retail. So from that sense, and when Nikita brought a very good point that categorizing marketplaces as per your catalog, assortment, and then, for example, in Fossil, right, we don't sell all brands on all marketplaces. We sell Armani Exchange, we sell Emporio Armani, we sell Tory Burch or Michael Kors on luxury platforms. But when it comes to affordable luxury, which is Fossil, Diesel, or any other brand, then we sell it on a different brand. So that's how we cater to assortment. But open to everyone, if in case you have any question about outright versus marketplace, please.
I just want to say great dress, by the way. Is it available on marketplaces? Great dress that you're wearing right now. Is it available on marketplaces? Or is it, this one is on your website only?
Compliments on stage, guys. Thank you, Divesh.
So my question is not directly what you were just talking about. I have a different question in the sense, with the increasing growth for quick commerce that you're noticing, do you see a world where maybe quick commerce eats up traditional marketplaces in the future. Why I say that is because maybe a week or so ago, I saw somebody on Twitter with Flipkart's new Minutes that's launched. He's basically bought an Alienware computer, which is a big ticket size item. It's like a lakh 40, lakh 50, and that was delivered to him within like 7 minutes. And we've all seen where we've gone from like Prime giving 1 day delivery to, we used to be wait for delivery for like 10 days, 1 week, whatever. Now going to 1 week with people wanting it now. So do you see a world where maybe 4 or 5 years down the line, quick commerce is going to probably eat up your traditional marketplaces? And what are your thoughts on that?
I'll definitely let Devesh take that question, but I think it differs at a category level, bro. Because when you look at categories which are into gifting or which are into that segment where customer wants quick delivery, I think those will be the most preferred ones who will opt for quick commerce. But over to Devesh, I think.
No, I get that. Maybe like a Hero Electric or something which won't do well on a quick commerce. But maybe like a dress or something. If someone's seen a dress online and they want it right now,
I'll try and answer that.
Yeah.
So the way we are building it is we're building it ground up. Wherever there is a use case for a 10-minute delivery, that's a proposition. Those are the categories that we're bringing in on the platform. We're not trying to eat the traditional marketplaces or the current demand, but if that demand needs something in 10 minutes, then we'll build it up.
Absolutely, it's all about the product curation. So quick commerce will definitely cater to, as he rightly referred, for all the products which people need, customers need, faster deliveries. So giving an example of Hamleys, we might have a selection of about 6,000 options available, but we recently launched on Swiggy Instamart, and it was a massive launch, and we've kind of started matching our online website revenues in a short span of 2 months. So it was a very successful launch. Having said that, the curation there is substantially lower. It also depends on the size which you all can cater to.
So yeah, there are certain categories where the customers also don't know that they need it in 10 minutes. So toys is actually one of them. So we also launched toys and then
it's
started flying.
Primarily soft toys with primarily gifting and impromptu purchases.
So for our category, I don't even know, it's like a high, indulgence kind of research-based kind of the people will want to go, look at all the products which are available, and it's not essential, okay, it's not like something, there are times when people need it right then and there, so it's not that the demand or the use case is not there.
Absolutely.
But I'm not sure, how it can work for a category like ours. So, the potential or how we solve for it, has to be.
How we build it is we track demand very closely. So if there are searches on the platform for a particular product, we'll have that supply available very quickly. The turnaround time would be very quickly from our category teams.
I think that's what I think. That's where my question to Devesh. Yeah, please go ahead.
So while you said that products like ours may not be fit for a Q-commerce kind of a thing, but we also realize that, as I said, that it's not about just placing your product there for sale, but also probably advertising there, because there is a set of audience who may decide and understand that they don't need a scooter immediately, they will probably pick and choose. So I think these platforms are not only going to help, probably, also what is happening is, specifically in cases like Blinkit and Zeptos, a lot of their deliveries are happening on electric vehicles, and a lot of us are ours and other brands as well. So we are already looking and talking to some of these brands to actually, when they deliver, so something goes and says that, your delivery in 10 minutes was done on an electric scooter, a Hero electric scooter kind of thing. So we are already, trying to build in or see how maybe not sell directly, but try to actually get to the audience indirectly as well.
Great. I think to the point that Devesh was saying, I think we need to also understand that how to stand out on these marketplaces, right? It's not only about Amazon or Flipkart or Myntra's, it's also about Blinkit, it's also about Swiggy or BB Now, right? And that's where I think, Devesh, your insights will come in handy, that how to stand out on these marketplaces.
Sure. So, see, marketplaces have their own journey with its customer behavior evolving between discovery and search. For instance, Amazon is a search platform today. Blinkit today is in that juncture between discovery and search. We have half the people ending up purchasing products by looking through it on the homepage and other places, and other people are searching. So that's a marker for intent. If there is a category where there is high intent of searches, then the conversion will be faster. So as a brand, what I can suggest By the way, see, marketplaces, marketing, whether it's a science or an art, it's just a matter of perspective. So what I'm saying is just my individual perspective. I'm no Byron Sharp. Now, there are certain vectors that you could consider while defining how you want to spend on the marketplaces like Blinkit. See the evolution of your category. Ask your category managers where the traffic, where the conversion is coming from, whether it's from search or whether it's through discovery. And also see your positioning on the category. Are you already the market leader? How competitive the category is? And then these two vectors broadly give you a starting point. You can have like a strategy of how aggressive you want to be on search or how aggressive you want to be on top funnel. Let's take some examples. Let's say you are not the market leader and the category is super evolved. The answer is clear that you should just do bottom funnel and you should go heavy on search. Let's say you are the market leader, but the category is not evolved. I think I was speaking with Mr. Noise yesterday. So I think they're in that position, right? Like where they already have 50-60% market share, but the category of electronics is not super evolved on Blinkit. So there, doing search does not essentially make sense because you're just feeding into that tiny bottom funnel intel that exists. Now, see, marketplaces are also an equilibrium between demand and supply, right? And there will be times where the demand benefit is tipping in your favor. Either there is excessive demand or there is low supply, and then you can reap that benefit, but it won't last forever. Like Amazon is at a stage where, with most categories, where the demand is high, but also the supply is super high. So the onus of demand generation actually lies with the brand. You can't always depend on the marketplace to provide you the demand for eternity. At least in the long run, that's not sustainable.
Yeah. I think I vouch for that, and I'm sorry to interrupt Divesh here. Content, when it comes to search, right? So globally, Amazon's business is 65% driven through search, be it Amazon US or Amazon Europe or Amazon in India or any other country, right? And that's where your content plays very important role, that you should have those keywords in your description. You should have those keywords in your product title. You should have that. So the content will be able to deliver results for you if you are able to add up to that search criteria.
Definitely. And what might work on Amazon as your marketing strategy may not work on Blinkit because
Maybe,
fundamentally,
yeah, exactly.
The stages of the marketplaces are different. The categories,
Right.
behavior is different. But broadly, it could be similar, but you have to consider the nuances.
Sure.
I mean, there is one, like with these impulse-driven categories, and the categories that are already evolved, fairly evolved on Blinkit, there is this element of ROAS trap, like some brands that are already market leaders, they're already showing up as number 1, number 2 in the search results. Sadly, I see a lot of them doing a lot of search and bottom funnel marketing because it provides them the ROAS. They see the ROAS of 10, 12, and that's great, right? But over time, again, I don't think that is super sustainable because you have to bring in new demand to convert them.
Right.
I think one of the reasons why that ROAS trap is also happening is fundamentally how the teams are structured. There is a performance marketing team and there is a business and sales team. So the performance marketing team is trying to drive ROAS. So, and if you're getting a ROAS of 10 here and if you're getting a ROAS of 2 or 3 on top funnel, you're never going to be doing those strategies. Anyway, that's just a food for thought. As a D2C brand, at least it's easier to bridge that culture of ownership on not just marketing metrics, but also like the business metrics. But yeah, in the large organizations, I think it's a bit bureaucratic.
Absolutely agree. I think we are one such brand where marketing actually focuses on ROAS and we actually focus on ROAS plus sales. So I think on Amazon, even if I deliver 12x, still that if that is not resulting in my top line and my bottom line, that it has no use for me, right? I think that's where an interesting fact also comes up where I'll ask Ankit to help us understand. A lot of brands actually feel that we lose control when we go on marketplaces, right? And with a brand like Hamleys, Ankit, if you can help us understand, like you are on marketplaces, you are on quick commerce as well, right? How do you ensure that you do not lose control on marketplaces, plus you are controlling your discounting across channels?
Yeah, for a brand, a large brand especially, it is very important and these concerns are definitely valid. I think it is important for us to be covering all of the channels which we can and be present for the customers. The customers are ultimately the most important for any brand. Having said that, I do believe Hamleys being present across the board spectrum of all channels, having the right strategy and collaboration with the marketplaces being on your side definitely helps us leverage the vast reach of these platforms and be present for our customers. And of course, it's a very competitive landscape and everybody wants growth. So leveraging the reach of these platforms and maintaining the control becomes striking a balance between them becomes the most important thing. So I would say, I think the most important thing would be maintaining the right consistency in branding. That is, according to me, the topmost priority being on the brand side. Ensuring that the descriptions, the images, the titles, even messaging, tonality in ads has to be consistent across all channels. Like one team is definitely should be owning, and collaboration with the marketplaces is very important for that. That will help in maintaining the premiumness of the brand across all channels and maintaining that consistency which the customers will see for a particular brand. Pricing, yes, plays the most important factor. Picking up on what Nikita mentioned earlier, having curation of products becomes the second most important thing. Differentiating between product lines, having exclusive products for different marketplaces. Every marketplace, quick commerce, say Ajio, Amazon, own websites, have their loyal set of customers, have certain value. So Ajio will have a different average selling price, .in will have a different selling price, quick commerce will have a different ASP. So differentiating on the product lines and creating bundles out of those products to cater to the customer which is coming on that platform is essential to maintain that, again, the premiumness of the brand. Control over pricing becomes a challenge. So it depends on the model in which a brand is on the marketplace. So Hamleys always works on the marketplace model and rarely works on the outright model. Unfortunately, with Instamart, of course, we had to go with the outright model. But very clear guidelines state that pricing will be controlled by Hamleys and not by the marketplaces. Whatever collaborations needed, whatever marketing spends needed, we are fine to do that. But the pricing will be maintained by Hamleys across all channels. And we ensure that pricing parity is maintained across all channels. I think marketplaces, of course, because they have differentiated customers, they give a lot of insights in terms of data, which really helps. So understanding how the consumer is shopping on a particular channel, their overall shopping behavior, other data points which they might share with us, allows us to personalize marketing strategies for those particular platforms, which definitely helps in maintaining that right consistency of the brand across all channels and solving the problems of brand being diluted or across channels or pricing being diluted. So that's
Right,
what
absolutely.
I believe. Yeah.
Nikita, you have some.
No, actually, I just wanted to add on to that point. Like, you had also asked me about, like, the creative and content strategy on
Exactly.
marketplaces, right?
Right.
I was not able to touch upon it earlier. So, one interesting thing which happened with us was, like, earlier marketplaces used to insist on a certain kind of shoot. Background should be like this, it should be this color, and it should not be like, this should not. Yeah, so there used to be a lot of, like, specifications around whatever they were expecting. And we had our own shoots for our marketplace, or for our own website, which was very lifestyle in nature and which was, like, pretty good looking and everything, and it used to work for us. And there came a point where it became like an additional headache for us to actually, like, list all products, because we had to, like, kind of go into, like, additional shoots for marketplaces, and each marketplace had its own peculiar requirements. So Amazon is like, we will not accept anything if the first image is not a white background. And so then Amazon wasn't even our, like, focus area anyways. But when it came to Myntra, then there came a point where they were okay accepting, like, our lifestyle images. We said, okay, fine, you try with these images and then see, like, if there's any, difference or uptick in the, business or, and when we did that, it actually, like, worked better. So, and like now they're completely fine, like, accepting all our lifestyle images, whether be it for any category.
You help them evolve their platform.
Yeah, so we did that across Nykaa and Myntra both. So, and the kind of shoots which we did also, like, it kind of changed completely, like, for subsequent ones for marketplaces.
Absolutely.
So,
I think from a content standpoint, there are a lot of brands that are doing a lot of investment on photo shoot, including the lifestyle imagery, feature shots, plus the PDP imagery as well, right? And that's what is bringing major difference when it comes to our conversion rates, when it
Yeah,
comes to
absolutely.
sales.
Having super premium content is absolutely important for a brand, especially in today's scenario. Yeah, with all the Gen Zs coming in, all the social media hypes coming in, shorts coming in.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Premium content has to be there across. So brands should invest in generating premium content.
If you ask me, for me in China, my live streaming channel gives me more revenue as compared to a traditional marketplace, right? Douyin in China performs really well for me, right? And then same is the case with Australia, with the D2C network that we have where we are doing live streaming. So I think the content creation is really important for a brand to ensure that they have success on marketplaces, right? I think we only took one question, but yeah, there's one more question. Okay, another question, please. We have 2 goodie bags, guys. You need to ask intelligent question to win the goodie bag, please.
See, I have a question. Like, actually, it's two questions. One for Nikita, like, because you are in the clothing category. So, how you guys are, because that is the one category where the return and exchange rate is comparatively high compared to any other category. So, how you guys are managing that? And now coming to the ways that if you guys are planning to bring clothing, like see already like we can see a couple of t-shirts and all those things. And but the return problem is there with the quick commerce. So is there like what's your thought over there and what's the plan? Yeah, please.
It's not in our initial roadmap because of the nuances that you just mentioned of the return cycles.
Okay, when it comes to reducing RTOs and returns, what we have seen has worked for us on Myntra is we've reduced the return window. So earlier it used to be like 7 days, we brought it down to 2 days, and it's like significantly reduced our RTOs and returns. So that is something which has really worked for us.
I think just to add to that point, Atul, basically it's all about what information you are sharing with customer, because India do not have a standard size chart when it comes to apparels, right? So when you are giving that information to customer that if you wear L, then you should go for M, or what is the size chart in the PDP images or anywhere in the content, I think that will help us reducing returns in apparel as a category.
Also, like the image, what you're showing, like, you know, that matters a lot. Like, you know, I mean, if it's, people are expecting something, like looking at whatever, you know, cataloging you have done, right? So if your product, which they receive at the end of the day is significantly different, then obviously the chances of returns is higher. And also the description, it has to be really spot on. Like it not only it helps in like, you know, organically listing your, products higher up in the search rankings, but also the relevance improves, and obviously people will get the right information, whether it's about the fabric, it's about the color, it's about the technique, you know, then those things become important when it comes to a category like ours.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think bang on, Nikita, please.
Just for an example to pick up on both the points, when I started handling diesel e-commerce, the biggest RTOs, of course, apparel brand, were roof high, crazy high. On Hamleys, I was used to having only like 4-5% returns. It was extremely optimized in the last 3-4 years. Diesel started off with about 30-35% returns. Major issue of returns was incorrect sizing, primarily because Diesel, being an international brand, their sizing caters to international audiences, and then we get it here and sell to the Indian audience. Having size charts, India-specific size charts, comparing Indian sizes to international sizes available for the products, putting it on the site definitely helped reduce that. Along with having images per product of, like she was mentioning, Indian female with a typical standard average body size with a particular size of international brands. Two things definitely help in taking it a long way.
Great, thanks, Ankit. I think we are only left with
one-
one. No,
one-
sorry.
I think Tanishq has a question.
Tanishq, one more
Yeah,
question,
she's
please,
been
guys.
Dhruvil also has one.
Okay, so I would like to understand how experience marketing, as we all know, it's really big right now, and a lot of offline brands also and online brands, all are doing experiences like Zomato does the feeding festival, which has now become a huge thing. Hamleys opened like this full experience for kids in the new Geo Mall in Mumbai. Even like Armani now opened the Armani Cafe. So I'd really like to understand how is that changing marketplaces today. Even Diesel, they do a lot of events, and how have you all seen that convert for you all, whether it's in terms of awareness or, you know, attracting new customers with these hands-on experiences?
I'll take that first. So extremely important. See, be it online, quick commerce, any other channel, the ultimate objective of a brand is reach and frequency building in customers' minds. So doing this offline events definitely helps in two things. First, ensuring that the frequency or the reach is built in customers' minds, and also ensuring the premiumness of a particular brand. So for brands like Diesel, especially, ensuring in customers' mindsets that the brand is premium, and whatever experience they will get is going to be premium, be it online or offline, is extremely important to drive it into their minds. So it definitely helps and goes a long way in retaining customers and, of course, in acquiring new customers as well.
Okay.
Go ahead, Nikita, please.
I'll just like to add to that from a marketplace standpoint. So, we are listed on marketplaces like Amala Earth, right? And they are curating events like draping sessions, and where they want to collaborate with us, and these events. Obviously, it helps raise brand awareness as well. Plus, it helps customers experience your product firsthand, which obviously increases your their perception, or the touch and feel factor of the garment as well. And obviously it can lead to better conversions when they are coming to look for the same product later on any channel which we might be present on. So obviously I think experiences are definitely a must participate kind of.
Absolutely. I think all these events, we do a lot of that stuff across the world, right, for Fossil Group as well. And trust me, when it comes to these events, they actually adds up to sales on across channels, right? It's not only about brand recall. We've been hearing about this a lot in our journeys, right? But it's also about marketplace recall, right? If you will have your specific marketplace where you will go and search for a product, right? You will not go and use Amazon to scan a QR code. You'll go to Google Lens to scan the QR code, right? So that's how the marketplace recall is also important. So all these events actually adds up in delivering sales across channels.
Hi, I'm audible?
Yeah.
So just wanted to understand, there are a lot of D2C brands right now in the market. Those bread and butter are dependent on marketplaces. I think Pareto revenue comes from there. So how do you solve for repeat, creating more and more repeat purchases and reducing dependencies on marketplaces and generating more demand for the brand?
Anti-marketplace.
So if I understood it correctly, are you referring to repeat business from the customers from marketplaces on your own website, right?
Yeah, so say anyone has found the product on Amazon or a Myntra,
Right.
They purchase the product. Now any business would want better experience for the customer. They want them to order from their own website. And how do you reach out to them again and solve for business repeat and their better experience?
Why would you want to do that?
So
For
essentially,
better
how do we
P&Ls.
get the data in the
The
first
commissions
place?
are
So I think two quick pointers here which we've tried in the past and kind of worked for us. Not recommending or saying that people should do it, but so in Amazon primarily, we had something as MFN, model of fulfillment also, where we could ship products from our own warehouse. So of course, first point was the packaging. In the Amazon's box, we used to ship products in a Hamleys packaging. So when a customer opens a product from Amazon, they then see the Hamleys packaging inside it, and then of course we had notes and gift vouchers to bring them back into the store or online to make the next purchase and give them a 500 or 1,000 off or whatever. That I think everybody would have employed some or the other ways in the past. Second, I believe, and now it's becoming more and more relevant, is ensuring that the post-purchase experience on these marketplaces is being handled by the brand in some way or the other. Extremely important for the brand consistency and the maintaining the premiumness in terms of course, the packaging, the delivery efficiency. So if the fulfillment is happening from our warehouse, ensuring that the speed at which the product gets delivered to the customers is optimized. And the most important thing is reaching out to these customers. So marketplaces control the transaction. Post the transaction, collecting reviews, talking to the customers, using ORM tools to listen to what the customers are saying of their purchases from other marketplaces. That's the point where you reach out to the customers through your own customer service team or ORM team and talk with them, help them understand, get them on board, again back for your brand.
Absolutely. I think it's all about experience, right? You, if you buy a watch on Amazon, right? If you buy a watch on Flipkart, right? It's only about delivery why you are buying on these marketplaces, right? But then it's post-purchase experience, right? Does the brand go back to the customer who have bought from these marketplaces and tell them that, boss, in 6 months, you will have to look at your battery, replace it, right? So that's something where, as a brand, we have to take care of the customer, even if it's a marketplace customer or a D2C customer. That will help in repeat rate, right? Plus, I think on marketplaces, it's also important to ensure that you are giving that opportunity to customer to reach out to you, instead of reaching out to marketplace directly, right? Because a lot of time we end up reaching out to Amazon, that where is my product, right? There's something wrong in it, can we return it, right? So I think that is something where we should be very handy in content, that we should use it actively to ensure that customer is reaching out to us, right? So,
I mean, I absolutely agree to your point when you're talking about like the post-purchase experience. I mean, I'm here.
Sorry, I was looking at audience.
So, I mean, like, say, the difference when somebody is receiving a package from, say, Amala Earth, like, they're really, like, focusing on the packaging and stuff like that. So, it's not going to be the same experience when I'm buying from, say, an Amazon or, like, maybe say, Myntra as well, right? It's just going to be that brown paper package, right? So, I think, like, that experience really will, like, when I'm just talking about marketplaces, like, if you're talking about repeat purchases from marketplaces, then the experience obviously, like, matters. Like, even the post-purchase, like, and anything related to your how optimally you're handling the returns, or like how fast you're able to refund it, or those are the kind of things I think which really
Absolutely, Nikita. Thanks a lot, guys. We are time's up. Any more questions from the audience?
I think I had a second part of the question.
Yeah.
So, like you mentioned, you reach out to the customer post-purchase journey. So earlier what happens was, Meta and Google used to kind of eat up all of your revenues because you used to advertise on them, like you still do, and they eat up most of your revenue. So for D2C, now there's a third tiger called marketplace. So if they close you, then you're done. So how do you resolve for that problem in future?
So over-reliance on marketplaces is what his question is, right?
This topic is more about how to get out of marketplaces strategy.
So essentially,
I'm a marketplace dude, so I'm just trying to avoid it by knowing how they are doing it.
So obviously, like, you can't put all your eggs in one basket, as simple as that. Like for us, like our strategy is very clear that we don't want our business to be heavily reliant on marketplaces. And to date, like, majority of our revenue, which like, we see from D2C comes from our own website. And essentially, like, you need to take a call on which marketplaces you need to be present on, which like, you have to keep an eye on each and every PNL of each and every marketplace separately, see what's making sense, what's not making sense, whether the effort is like justified, not justified. I think that's what, like, how it has to be done. Yeah.
Absolutely. I second Nikita on that thought, because it's all about how you determine your assortment, right? Your safety net, okay? If you are a brand where you are being controlled by legal laws of FDI and everything, right? You will have to focus on marketplace, because otherwise you can't run your business, right? But if you are a D2C brand, then you will have to have that safety net on marketplace to ensure that your liquidation channel is open, right? Your top selling styles are there to show the customer, to get that reach, right? So it's all about assortment. I think the mix is very important. So with this, I think, guys, thanks a lot. You are a wonderful audience because you did not cheer us. Thank you. But good questions. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Amit, do you want to pick the top 2 questions?
Absolutely. So
I want you to give out the gifts.
Okay. So I've made one judgment, guys, on behalf of all of you. So one goes to the gentleman out there, and one goes to this gentleman. Thank you.
Wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, that was our last panel for the day. I think.